joining you again today for another December daily process video. So for today I've got the day 5 for you. I'm mainly going to be doing one day rather than the 2 days as per usual, largely because this is going to be a relatively long one. So my plan is to just do one for this video. So for this video, for day 5, I decided to do something on, I guess, 5 things I'm thankful for. And there will be essentially no photos used in this page. And I'm going to use the transparency piece, which is from the Elliott Woods store. It's actually not part of her main kit, but I bought this one separately. And I'm also going to be using a bunch of pen paper, which is from the Hip Kit Club's kit from November 2017. And this paper itself is, I'm just trying to look for where it's from. I believe it might be a Crate paper. And I like this one largely because it's essentially just a line paper. So you can use any, I guess, pen paper really. And so I just punch it out using a hard punch, which is from I believe it's from EK Success. It's a relatively old one, to be honest. I don't think it's a large hard. I think it's a medium-sized one, I believe. I'm also going to be punching out these circles kind of pattern here, which is from the pen paper itself. I believe is American Crafts. I think Winter Wonderland line, I can't remember, but it's actually, I got from the Hip Kit Club's Scrapbook kit. And so I punch that out and I plan to kind of scatter that across the page. And the hearts are going to be where I write out the 5 things I'm thankful for. And I'm just kind of looking through my phone, working out what I wrote down on that day. And I'm also thinking of adding kind of some sort of numbers onto the hearts, just to kind of, just to add a bit of kind of counting element to it. And so I was just going through a bunch of things that I've got on my desk, looking at that stamp set there, which is from Felicity Jane kit. But I decided to decide against it, but I will actually start by just kind of trying to stamp out this number 1 here, which is a really, really tiny number 1 stamp from the Felicity Jane kit. I believe it's actually from the October Scrapbook kit. So I was going to use that circle, kind of a punch out circle out from the post-it and trying to use that as a mask, but then when I kind of stamp on that heart there, I decided it didn't look obvious enough, I guess. And now I'm just kind of going through a bunch of things. What I'll actually end up with is using this kind of number stickers here, which are from the Elliott Woods. I believe it's actually from the main kit. And what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of using the Pendleton ink, so the red ink from Elliott Woods store, to change the colour of the number stickers. I want them to be relatively red, and so I let that to dry, and now I'm just going to punch, I'm actually going to cut out a few more hearts to mat these kind of white hearts here, the kind of a line smaller hearts. So I'm just kind of using just fuzzy cut these hearts out, and surprisingly I'm not a big fuzzy cutter, or a very good one for that matter, but they are surprisingly forgiving with this one. So if just in case you're interested in doing, it's actually relatively it's quite forgiving, so you don't have to worry about making it perfect with this one, because I think largely you put it on another piece of hard, which is kind of perfectly cut from a punch. So I think that's why it doesn't look, I mean, it's really forgiving. So, and really am not a good fussy cutter or an expert fussy cutter. So I'm just literally choosing a few pattern papers from the Hip Kit Club's scrapbook kit, and it's essentially a selection of American craft, crepe paper, and I believe there's a bunch of pink fresh pattern paper in there as well. And I really like using stuff from a kit largely because they're kind of well coordinated and I don't have to think about where the colours go, etc. So I just kind of pick out a few different colours, and I use some kind of one from one side of the pattern paper and, you know, one pattern from the other side of pattern paper, which often would go together quite well. So now I'm just kind of adding these numbers stickers here. So I let that dry, and then I'm just kind of peeling that out and putting that all the numbers down. And the next thing I am going to do now is actually just writing out what I wrote during that time. So I think the first thing I said was I'm thankful for my health. That was an easy one. Just kind of, you know, being healthy is a very you know, it's a real blessing. So the next thing I am going to do is I'm just trying to work out how to add the idea of, you know, 5 things I'm thankful for. And so I'm just looking for, you know, looking through my word stickers for the word so thankful or something about thankful. I decided to kind of move on to write some more about my my journaling. So number 2 was, what did I say? For the job, for my job, even though I'm kind of, you know, a bit stressed and etc., you know, I'm just thankful for, you know, that I'm still kind of loving it at the moment. So number 3 was about, you know, my support network, you know, my family, my sister, my friends, etc. And 4 was my scrapping time, and I was actually quite looking forward to Christmas time, so I have more spare time to do my scrapping. And lastly, my partner, how he's been kind of my rock this year. So those are my 5 things. And now I am just attaching, kind of putting the adhesive down, sticking them together. I am also using some foam dots just to kind of pop out some of the punch out circles as well. And now I'm just kind of thinking about, you know, I want to add something about being thankful. I chose this word phrase sticker here which says so thankful, and now I'm just thinking of where to add or how to attach it. And I decided to kind of add in the middle of that 5 there, and I'm also using some adhesive to add that number 5, that the 5th heart, I guess, to put it onto the 5. That's largely because the transparency is clear, so if you want to put any adhesive, it's actually, you know, it will show. So that's why I was just adding the adhesive just directly onto the back of the heart, so that goes directly onto the 5. And my plan is to use a kind of to staple the 5 down. And now I'm just kind of looking through, trying to work out how to use this this stapler here, which is from the from We Are Memory Keepers. And what I realised, I've tried a number of times just trying to punch to staple, you know, the hearts down. And what I realised is that it's actually, for some reason, the We Are Memory Keepers are not, the stapler is not very good for adding on to staple through the transparency piece from Allywood's store. I think maybe it's too thick or something. So it's just having quite a bit of difficulty, to be honest. And I the problem with using the tiny attacher is because it doesn't go in the middle. So I'm just kind of having quite a bit of difficulty. Try once again, and yeah, I did try it a number of times, and finally I actually got one through. I actually had to poke a hole through the transparency first. So as you can see there, I'm just using the Tim Holtz kind of poking thing, I don't know what to call, just the hole poking tool there, just to kind of poke the hole so that the stapler can get through. And then I'm just using my tiny attacher to kind of bend the stapler down. And I'm doing exactly the same thing at the bottom there, just to kind of poke the hole through and just making so that the stapler can get through the transparency there. And yeah, so I'm just using this Tim Holt tool to poke a hole and then bend down using this tiny attacher. I'm sure it's not the best way to do this, but if some of you guys have any success with this kind of tool using the transparency, please let me know how it works. This is actually the first time I've used it, and I tried to just kind of staple through just a normal piece of paper and it works fine, so maybe it's just a transparency. And now I've just kind of attach all of these different things using my tiny attacher. I find tiny attachers to be the best at adhering the paper onto transparency. So the next thing, which I believe is the last thing I'm going to do, is adding a tag there, which is a tab, and then I'm actually using the Avery tab, which I bought from Outlet store. For some of you who live in Australia, I don't think we have access to it, but if you would like to buy it, I got them from the Outlet store, and I actually got a few with the December daily kit, largely because the shipping is essentially all inclusive, which is great. And so I bought just a couple of packs actually, and now I'm just using this rolling stamp here, which is also from Outlets. I believe I actually bought it just from her, it's her regular shop product. And what does it say? It says "so much love," and on the back side it says "she said." So just kind of my thoughts, I guess. And I believe that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me again today. Here's some close-up. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up so I know that you enjoyed it. And if you want YouTube to let you know when my next video comes out, please subscribe, and I hope you're enjoying these videos. Have a lovely day. Bye.